Hello, once again. Welcome to take two of Ranting and Racing. We had major tech issues and internet issues hamper us the first time, but we are here again, though we won't be going as long as I had said earlier. Now that we are redoing this at 8 o'clock, and I now have a hard out at 9 o'clock, but me and Landon will try to give you all that we can. And so without further ado, here is Landon. Hello, sir. So Landon is starting to see sort of the uphill battle that I'm fighting with tech issues and internet issues and just
I get you. My internet's so bad.
Oh, yours is 100 times better than mine. Yours is 100 times better than mine. So let's see here. So what we were talking about before all of the tech issues and everything set in was Speedweeks. Speedweeks came and went this week at Daytona. 6 races over the span of a week. 6 races over the span of a week. We had the duels on Thursday. We had duels on Thursday. We had the truck race on Friday night. We had an ARCA and Xfinity event on Saturday, with it all culminating on Sunday afternoon, yesterday afternoon, with the Daytona 500. So we'll do sort of a whip around of sorts, as we did on the first one, as we did before the tech issues came down. So, look who just joined us. We have a first-time guest joining us.
Hello.
Nate Dawson is in the room. Howdy, sir.
Hi. Nice to see you again.
Yeah, man. Nice to see you too. I was not expecting to see you here, and I'm hearing an echo on your end. So if I can edit the mic
there
setting.
we go. It should end. Is it gone?
No, it's not.
Fuck. Hold on.
The tech issues keep following us. Okay, so Nate is muted for the time being until he gets his echo problem fixed. So in the meantime, this is just the you get an episode like this every once in a while where just nothing seems to work, and I hate that. I know it happens sometimes, but still I hate it. So we will do sort of a whip around on Speedweeks. I hate doing talking points over again, but with tech issues and everything in mind, we'll just be brief about everything, because as I've said, I've got a hard out at 9 o'clock. So of all the stuff that went on during Speedweeks, what stood out most to you, Landon?
What stood out most? I'd probably say the Xfinity race, because I thought overall the Xfinity race was the best race of the weekend. Cup was very close behind. Cup had a very good Daytona 500. The truck race had a couple issues that we can talk about later. But overall, I think the Xfinity race was the best race, and it stood out for 2 different reasons. It stood out for the great racing, but it also unfortunately stood out for the Maya Snyder crash.
Yeah. Nate, we're still hearing an echo on your end. Okay, but yeah, Xfinity, I do agree. Xfinity was an outstanding race, which is, not something we can say about the February Xfinity race at Daytona most years. Lots of great action, lots of Good close racing. We saw a lot of underdog stories in the Xfinity event. Most notably, I would say it's Josh Bilicki and Brandon Brown both getting up there, leading double-digit laps, coming home 8th and 9th on the day. Austin Hill comes out the winner of that event. In his first start for Richard Childress Racing. And and of course the massive crash at the end of the event with Myatt Snider more or less just somersaulting into the catch fence. That is the most tore up I've seen a car in quite some time. It tore the engine out of the car.
Yeah, that thing was destroyed.
Oh, God, tore the engine out of the car, rear axle, fuel cell, everything. It knocked literally all four wheels off the car. And just seeing the parts and pieces and flames just going everywhere down the backstretch, it really was one of the most vivid crashes I've seen in quite some time. But but still, the underdogs were a big part of it. Josh Bilicki, Brandon Brown, Anthony Alfredo coming down, taking over the 23 car, the Ora Motorsports car, bringing it to a 7th place run. JJ Yaley coming home 13th, even though he had one of Myatt Snider's truck arms come through the car as it was disintegrating into the catch fence. That was a bit scary, but a lot of great stories in the Xfinity race. A lot of good stories in the truck race as well. Obviously, Zane Smith gets the win in his first start with Front Row Motorsports, and he comes over. Zane Smith comes over from GMS and gets the win there on the anniversary, funny enough, of his sponsor Love's Travel Stops going to victory lane with Michael McDowell in the 500. So that was a bit of an interesting thing there. Notable results in the truck race, notable drivers include those of Parker Kligerman, who I had to win the race. Parker hauls off, comes home in 5th. Jesse Little starts 9th, comes home 6th in a Young Motorsports truck. Little's teammate, Danny Bone, comes home in 8th after starting 28th in another Young Motorsports truck. Matt DiBenedetto comes down from the Cup Series, lands with the Rackley Ward team, the 25 team. He gets a 10th. Spencer Boyd in the 3rd Young Motorsports truck comes home 11th. What did you think about the truck race overall?
I thought the truck race was pretty fun, except for the issues that I referenced earlier. I was listening to Ben Rhodes on SiriusXM after the race, and he talked about how the left side tires had been shortened, or thinned, I guess I should say, and that was causing the trucks to just slide out of the corners and come up off the bottom line and get loose and everything. And that to me just made for some sketchy racing that I wasn't a huge fan of. I thought it was a little too uncontrollable. It did produce some pretty cool saves. Shout out to Colby Howard for having a really great run and saving that truck a whole bunch of times. But overall, I still thought it was a pretty good race. They just need to work on fixing that.
Yeah, Colby Howard gave me no less than about 3 heart attacks during the course of that race. Seeing that truck get light off of turn 4 and want to turn around and just hit head on into the outside wall, that was just, oh God. That was just, I couldn't believe what I was watching, seeing him save it that many times. Few other things in the truck race. We touched on this the first time, but for those who missed it, notable DNQs. Chase Purdy, who is a teammate to Tyler Ankrum, fails to make the field after he drops a cylinder during his qualifying run. And the one that Landon's going to have nightmares about, if you can't see what his hat says, and please hold your hat up to think. So, yeah, he's a big fan of Jordan Anderson. This one is. Landon is a huge fan of Jordan Anderson. And Jordan, after finishing second, there you can see it. After finishing second, each of the last 2 years in the Daytona truck race, Jordan does not make the field this year. And Jordan overall had a pretty crappy weekend because it was Myatt Snyder that it was driving the 31 car that everyone saw get launched into the catch fence on the last lap of the Xfinity race. But thankfully, everyone is okay. Everyone is all right. And yes, it was just a wild time. By the way, talking about the trucks, I don't know who is controlling the caution lights for that series, but they were either just all crowded around the button waiting to press it when they started crashing, that or they're just lightning fast on the draw. So
there's definitely a hand on that button.
The fucking, oh my God, it was so insane how fast everything was. And Renee is here. Hello, Renee. Renee is the executive producer of this show. We have liftoff, says Renee. Yes, we have. We had to abort going into orbit the first time, but we got back to Cape Canaveral, which is just south of Daytona. Is Cape Canaveral north or south of Daytona? I forgot.
North. JFK is the one right there in Daytona.
Okay. So hopefully his echo problem is fixed. So Nate Dawson, our dear friend, is joining us here. And I don't hear echo this time.
Did it work?
I don't hear no echo.
Okay.
All right.
Cool.
So we're good now. So Nate is another one of mine and Landon's friends. On the last few episodes you have seen of Ranting and Racing, we've been joined by our friend Pirate. But this time Nate is here. He is joining us, and we are here. We've in the first one we kind of went over more in depth the trucks and the Xfinity race. So now and just a couple more things from the truck race. Then we'll move on to the duels and the 500. So Thad Moffitt made his Truck Series debut in a 43 truck sponsored by STP. He was running the color scheme that his grandfather, Richard Petty, ran 30 years ago in 1992 when Petty was just wrapping up he was doing his final season, his fan appreciation tour as he's going into retirement. And the running joke about Thad Moffitt and ARCA is that he's destined to finish sixth. He's destined to finish sixth, and He didn't finish sixth this time, but wouldn't you know it if he didn't finish in a spot that was divisible by 6. He finishes 18th. So he finished 6th, just 3 times removed. So that was pretty interesting. So we will now touch on the race that we didn't touch on in the first one, the one that got zapped by tech gremlins. So we can now take a fresh look at it. The Daytona 500. Now, obviously, this was the first real points-paying race and first super speedway race with the brand new Gen 7 race cars. So I know I did, and I think Landon and Nate, y'all both did too, had a bit of reservations about how this car would act at a place like Daytona. I mean, we've seen it in testing. We've seen the car on Daytona in testing, but really nothing in a full race on this track that big. So I do believe, I think I speak for all three of us when I say that the 500 excelled every expectation that we had for this car. We thought that it would be just a snake, just a follow the leader type thing for 150 laps. But no, we had a lot of great side-by-side and 3-wide racing. The carnage, I mean, we did have our usual carnage, but I don't think it was as much as it has been in years past.
No.
We did find out that these cars, the Gen 7 cars, they can flip, they can do blowovers, and
I found that out pretty quick.
And more frighteningly, they can do blowovers on their own. So we'll touch. Okay, so anything pertaining to that or anything that we haven't really hit on yet about the Daytona 500, what do y'all want to talk about?
About the Harrison flip, I'll say when it happened, I was very scared that any car that got turned around was going to do a blowover. I was scared that diffuser was just going to pick them up off the ground. But as the race went on and I saw some other wrecks and saw some people get turned around, the back end would lift up and then set back on the ground, I came to the realization that might have just been a one-off, which would be great because we don't need these cars to blow over and fly off that easy. That's not great. I still think NASCAR should look into that and see if there's anything they can do. I don't know if it is or not, but I am happy to see that we only had the one blowover.
Yeah, and I think the theory that I was starting to touch on a little bit, I think the theory that I had that the diffuser got damaged is if you watch that crash, if you watch Harrison's crash, right before he lifts, he gets hit in the left rear. I think it was by Hamlin. Gets hit in the left rear, and that could have very easily had damaged the diffuser and caused the car, once it was sliding, to get light and lift up. What surprised me was he could not have been going more than 140 miles an hour, and he picked up and flew away. So this makes me wonder, are we going to see similar wrecks at intermediate tracks? Are we going to see this at places like Fontana, like Michigan, or someplace like that?
That was a part of my original worry with that. I thought that could happen. Seeing how the rest of the wrecks went, I don't think so. I think that was a very, just like random occurrence, or like you said, that the diffuser got damaged. I don't think it will, personally, but who knows? I could be wrong.
I think we could see. I think we could see a random type of thing, random type of flip. It could be like in 2010 with the wing on the COT. It took Brad flying away at Atlanta for that to change. So I'm curious if we go to Talladega in a few months and we see another a diffuser induced flip. I wonder if they will take that off and well, I don't know what they would put in place of the diffuser if we do see another blowover at Talladega.
The problem with trying to replace the diffuser is it's molded into the entire underbody of the car. It's not like the wing where it was a simple replacement. It's one solid piece. So I don't know.
That is true. That is true. That's something I'd not really considered. But yeah, it was a great race, start finish, and our Ohio representative right here, Nate, I'm sure he was absolutely losing his marbles at the finish of that race because it was Columbus, Ohio's Austin Cindric that wound up winning the Great American Race on his team owner Roger Penske's birthday, and it was just Cindric's 8th start ever in the NASCAR Cup Series. So it was a great time. It was great to see a first-time winner like that. So yeah, what did y'all think of that finish in the Daytona 500?
Nate is a Cindric fan, so I'll let him go.
Yeah, I've always been a fan of Cindric the entire time he started, and I haven't been happy after Daytona 500 finish in a while because just drivers that I don't necessarily go for. But finally, it happened, and I could never feel happier. I mean, that was awesome. I like all the drivers from Ohio, and finally have that happen. Oh,
yeah, that was just. It was so interesting to see how Cindric just controlled everything because you couldn't really get these seismic runs that you could get with the old cars. And what really opened my eyes is the fact that when Blaney went to make his move on the outside of Cindric and Cindric ran him up into the wall, Cindric lost none of his momentum. First of all, he didn't lose none of his momentum. Second of all, he didn't crash. I think if we had had the old cars with this finish, I think we would have seen either Cindric turn himself into the wall or he just loses all its momentum and Bubba Wallace slides through and wins it by 3 car lengths.
The old car, the Gen 6, after seeing the first race of the Gen 7, I think we should stick with the Gen 7 because the cars don't really break. Like, they don't really break. But, well, actually, something about the new cars is their suspensions breaks way too easily.
Yeah,
like,
that's something they do. Yeah, that's something we saw quite a bit, and it wasn't even with hard impacts either. I mean, we would see drivers just flat hit it, just not even at an angle or anything, just pancake it flat against the wall, and we would see, the rear tires toe out and things like that. I know when Harvick got collected in the crash, I think it was with 4 laps to go. the big one on the front stretch. I mean, he caught Noah Gragson at a good clip, but it never really tore his car up aside from the front suspension. I mean, everyone saw how the front tire was just turned out like so. And so I do hope that NASCAR addresses that in the near future. It was also really nice to see a lot of new names up there. I know we saw Todd Gilliland in the top 10 of the 500 for a good bit. Noah Gragson was up there quite a bit. And the underfunded guys, David Reagan up there. He doesn't run very many of these races. He was up there. He was in the top 20 a lot of that race, jumped up into the top 10, and I think came home in 8th, even though he and McDowell were spinning and wrecking coming across the line. So overall, talking about underfunded teams, underdog teams, who do you think was the most impressive of that set this week?
Todd Gilliland, easily. I mean,
Gilliland,
besides him, I would probably say I don't know.
I'm gonna agree with that, but
yeah.
I'm gonna expand it, and I'm gonna say front row in general because Todd was fast, McDowell was fast, and Zane Smith won the truck race. So front row in general was killing it at Daytona. So I would definitely agree that it was front row.
I'm gonna shout out, of course, the two drivers I mentioned in the Xfinity portion of this. Todd Gilliland, or not Todd Gilliland, what the hell? Josh Bilicki. My brain is fried right now. Josh Bilicki, Brandon Brown, and as Landon mentioned, Jade Buford. Jade Buford came out swinging in the Xfinity race. And Buford is someone from a road race background. He was predominantly a road racer up in the Northeast. And he gets a chance with this team, Big Machine Racing, and he goes out there, and the team is fully affiliated now with Richard Childress Racing in Xfinity, and just went out there and qualified. I think he was second fastest. Second fastest in the opening round of qualifying at Daytona for the Xfinity race. Third fastest overall in the second round, and had a great race going on until the last lap when Myatt Snyder went to the moon in the 31 car. But still, a lot of great stories from the weekend. And now that we have that taken care of, now that we have Speedweeks taken care of, we can now focus on Fontana. The first time since February of 2020 that we are going to be racing at Auto Club this coming weekend. And of course, granted, the last time we were there, we had cars and a package that was entirely freaking different than what we got now. And Alex Bowman, my guy, won that 2020 event, one of the few normal 2020 races that we had before the dumbest pandemic of our lifetimes came down. So we'll start with Xfinity first, and we'll kind of touch on what we think's going to go on there, and we'll also give our predictions for that. By the way, speaking of predictions, you can tell that myself and Landon and Pirate are just world-class pickers, as you can tell by the scroll at the bottom of the screen. Me and Pirate and Landon, went 0 for 3 on the weekend. Yay! We went 0 for 3.
Byron is not here, but I do have his picks for Fontana.
Okay. So we can now get Nate in on this as well. We can now get Nate on this too. So yeah, so this is our sort of our picks for the week. And as you can see, all Nate has to do, here's the thing. All Nate has to do to be better at us than picking is just be able to breathe into the bottom of a glass. If he can fog up the bottom of a glass, he'll be a better picker than me, Landon, and Pirate. So let's start with the Xfinity race. So Landon, since Pirate's not here right now, who does he have for Xfinity?
I'm going to go ahead and mention before I list off the picks. When Pirate sent me his picks, it was every single one of the picks that I had already picked, so I had to change mine.
You kidding me? So that carried over.
But
you better not have the same picks as me.
He picked Sheldon Creed to win Fontana.
Ooh, I like that.
Which is an interesting point that I wanted to talk about with Xfinity. It's going to be really interesting because RCR showed up at Daytona with Austin Hill, Sheldon Creed, and then you can count Jade Buford. Jordan Anderson's car had an RCR chassis. That thing was fast too. So they showed up. It should be really interesting to see how their program does on not a super speedway because they've always been fast there. But that would be interesting to see. But yeah, he picked Sheldon Creed to win.
Sheldon, so he's got Sheldon Creed for Xfinity. So who do you have for Xfinity?
So I originally had Sheldon Creed, and I changed it around now. I have gone full-fledged on one manufacturer for both my picks, but I'm going Ty Gibbs will win in Fontana.
You son of a bitch! You stole my pick. I think Nate was going to pick
mine. That's mine.
See, this is gonna be a weekly thing now, where we just sniping each other out of each other's picks. Oh God, I wanted to pick Ty. Well, here's the thing: we're all on the same wavelength, though. So there's that. So okay, so I have you down for Ty Gibbs. So now we will turn our focus to Mr. Nate Dawson. Who are you going to pick for the Xfinity race at Fontana?
Landon Castle.
Ooh, I like that pick. Any real rhyme or reason for Landon Castle?
I don't know. It feels like, I don't know. I just have a feeling he might be good at Auto Club. You know, he's finally in a good car, and he just shows out.
Yes.
Maybe.
So I'm going to stay my pick for the Xfinity race at Fontana. I'm going to stay in the colleague camp, and I am going to say Mr. A.J. Allmendinger to win at Fontana. I think Allmendinger is going to really show out this year. I mean, he had a great season last year, but I think he's going to really ball out this year because you don't have a lot of the guys that he was contending with last year. You don't have no 20 car. You don't have no Penske 22. He's got a lot of clear sailing ahead of him. I think he's going to be the top dog in the Chevy camp in terms of Xfinity this year. So, yeah, I've got AJ Allmendinger to win at Daytona again, to win at Fontana. So now we will turn our attention to Cup. Now this is going to be, like I say, this is going to be a bit of a crapshoot because Last time we were at Fontana with the Cup Series, it was with an entirely different car, an entirely different package. We've got a brand new car and 120 more horsepower this time. So, okay, so who did Pirate pick for the Cup race?
So I wasn't too mad about him taking my Sheldon Creed pick because I wasn't super confident about
Here we go.
I was pretty mad about him taking my Cup pick because I was pretty confident about
Here we go.
It was Alex Bowman.
The funny thing is, I wasn't going to pick Bowman.
Oh, okay.
Like I say, we've got an entirely different beast now from what we had then. So, I think Bowman will do pretty good. Hendrick, as we saw in that last race in 2020, all the Hendrick cars were good at Fontana. So, yeah. Landon, you have Alex Bowman. Oh, wait. Oh, it was Pirate that picked Alex. It was Pirate that picked Alex Bowman. So let me redo the name in the thing here. You'd think I'd be able to remember all this, but I got to take notes because, as you know, I'm an Alex Bowman fan. Landon, it's okay. Who do you pick? Well, Pirate sniped your pick, so I think I know who you're gonna say.
I'm sticking with Toyotas, and I think this is gonna make Nate mad. I'm going with Kyle Busch.
Motherfucker!
You piece I mean,
come on, man. Why?
Hey,
he's great there.
Here's the thing. He's picking.
That's what I want to pick.
Nate, he's picking Kyle Busch at Fontana the same reason I picked Hamlin at Daytona. I don't want to, but it's the safest pick. So
I wanted to pick Kyle. He stole mine again.
Oh my God. See, this is the thing. It don't matter who we have on this show. Everyone's on the same wavelength. Everyone is on the same wavelength. I love it.
Just wait until later in the season. I got some wild picks for some later races. Just you wait.
I believe you. Oh, it would be the funniest thing if Nate picked Ryan Blaney. Nate, what say you?
Blaney.
Are you for real?
Yeah.
I was gonna pick him actually, because not with Bowman, because I don't know how Bowman's gonna do. Oh, excuse me. So let me write down your pick. Nate has Ryan Blaney. So, for my pick for Fontana, you know what I'm going to do? I think I'm going to go the safe route. Like I did it, of course, when I went the safe route for Daytona, it wound up with Denny Hamlin getting his first DNF in the 500 for his entire career. So when I say this pick, he's now probably going to blow up on lap 20 now. But I am going to say to win Fontana, I'm going to go with the California kid. I'm going to say that Kyle Larson wins at Fontana. Yeah. He's just the safest pick.
And he's won there before.
What'd you say?
And he's won there before.
Kyle's won at Fontana? When was that?
Yeah, 2017.
Oh. I forgot about that. God, 2017 feels like 20 years ago at this point.
Wait, you're saying it's not 20 years ago?
Sure does feel like 20 years ago. So hopefully, fingers, toes, and eyes crossed, we have better luck at predicting the races. Because as you can see, there's big fat goose eggs in mine and Landon and Pirates win columns there. But hopefully that will change, and hopefully we will have a pair of safe and wonderful races this weekend. Yes, Landon?
I'm going 2 for 2 on the weekend. I'm calling it.
Okay. So at this rate, Ty Gibbs is going to be crashed on the 5th lap. And
Yes.
Kyle Busch is going to be in the garage with a blown motor at lap 30. Because here's the thing. Here's the motto when we pick. If we say buy, you sell. And if we say sell, you buy. So
I will say all my picks at Daytona were extremely fast and up there in the front. They just didn't get it done.
Yeah, I think I know I picked Kligerman for Daytona in the trucks. Who did I pick in Xfinity?
You picked Josh Berry.
Yeah, that aged like milk.
Yeah, he did.
And then I had Denny Hamlin in the 500, and he had to choose this year of all years. He had to choose this year of all years to fall out of the race. His first DNF ever. But yeah, so I think Pirate was the closest. Yeah, he was.
Yes, he had Briscoe.
Yeah. So let's see. I had Kligerman, Berry, and Hamlin for Daytona. Who did you have for Daytona, Landon?
I had Keselowski.
But for the trucks and Xfinity as well. Or do you remember?
I had Keselowski for the 500. I had Castle for Xfinity, and I had Infinger for the trucks.
Nate, Nate, I know you wasn't here, but just curious, what were your picks? Who were your picks for Daytona?
Trucks was Crafton. That aged well. Xfinity was Myatt Snyder. That really aged well.
Yeah. You actually picked Snyder.
Yeah, I picked Snyder.
Oh my God.
And then Daytona was why'd I forget it?
It's in Discord. Hold up. It was we unpinned it. That's
okay. Nate.
Kyle Busch.
I got it.
And that aged well as well. Well, KFB got up there. He was 6 at the check. So, okay, Nate, just in advance, please do not pick Bowman when they go to Talladega because I don't want a fence pole in his windshield. So
that was quite unfortunate. I mean,
yeah, that was like I saw him get turned, and I thought it was just gonna be a wide, but then I saw the ass end of that 31 pickup. I like, oh no.
Yeah, when the whole pack is literally pushing you, you're gonna go up in the air. Doesn't matter what car you're in.
That crash was Tony Stewart's 01 crash on steroids. God, the thing was frightening.
I really thought that thing landed on someone. That was
yes, I did too.
It looks worse in like the live shot than it did in the replay.
Thank God there was no one directly behind Buford in the line up top, because if that had been the case, they would have caught the fuel cell and everything probably square in the windshield. So that would not have been very good. So, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for bearing with us through the tech gremlins that cropped up. This is a bit shorter than what I had anticipated for it to be, but still, we touched on Speedweeks. We got our Fontana predictions in, and hopefully me, Landon, Pirate, and Nate, hopefully one of us will have at least a 1 in the right column when we reconvene next week for Fontana. So, ladies and gentlemen, again, thank you one and all for coming out and showing love and showing support. Without y'all, the viewers, none of this would be possible. So, thanks again for coming out and watching. We will see you next week. So for Landon, for Nate, for Pirate, and for all of us here at CCTV, I am Jon Phipps saying so long until next time.